Good afternoon. It's August the 19th, Saturday, and beautiful day, a little breezy, quite cool this morning actually. We went to the farmer's market. I put on long pants and a sweater, but I'm in short pants and short sleeve shirt now for walking because the sun has come out, so it's pleasant. It's about 17 degrees, I think. And it's been a while, so I'm going to walk to the community gardens, the Grow Regina Community Gardens. Let's just make 100% sure I'm focused in the distance for this one. In the distance. Yeah, it's about 17 degrees now after being 34 yesterday, so half as many degrees as we had yesterday at about this time. From which you can tell that a cold front clearly came in last night. And it's supposed to be quite pleasant now going forward, mid-20s, single digits some night for lows. Like tonight, I think, it's supposed to go to 7 or something like that. Rain in the forecast for Monday, so we'll see if I walk on Monday or not. I don't usually walk in the rain. I have done it, but I always worry about the water on the gimbal and the phone. The phone's fairly waterproof, but I'm not sure about the gimbal. I'm expecting that we'll go this way today. I'm expecting that the flowers and everything will be in full bloom, as you can see from their nice little corner garden there. Community garden is more vegetables than flowers, but still. Probably lots of people out there working today too. Have to get across the footbridge, of course. Then I think I will walk up through Lakeview till I get to Hill Avenue. Will be my way of approaching it this time. Or I could just keep zigzagging and then work my way back. I don't know. We'll see what I do. I have no idea what I'll do. Oh, they've got one of the new compost bins there. The city has been trialing those. It's Henderson Terrace over here, built in 1913. Row houses, now condos. 8 of them, I guess. Probably all identical, but mirror images of each other. See, there's one of the green new food waste bins. It says right up there, Henderson Terrace. Oh, that's suddenly a long comment. Well, I would say good books to read are all the ones I publish. Go to shadowpawpress.com. Anything that Shadowpaw Press publishes is a good book to read. Anything with my name on it is a good book to read. How's that for being self-serving? Yes, and the BC fires, well, as I think I mentioned, my brother and his wife are in one of the evacuated areas, so hopefully nothing happens there. They're not on West Kelowna, which is hit the hardest, but they're on the Kelowna side, up above Kelowna in the hills there, so waiting to see how it all comes out. Last time I checked the forecast, there's rain in the forecast for Monday in Kelowna. I don't know if it's still there or not, but the last time I checked it was. There's rain here in the forecast for Monday too. This is Cameron Street. This will take us to the footbridge. Newer houses, as well as some older houses. New, more new than old anymore, it seems like, around here. From when I lived on Garnet Street, which is one over. The little old house I lived in, which was built about 1914, I think, or 1918. I think it was probably post First World War. It's still there, but there's lots of bigger, newer houses over there now. That's a fairly new one. And then there's also older houses that have been redone. It's across 19th Avenue. Bridge ahead of us. Dead end ahead. Not for me though, only if you're a car. Or in a car, I guess. Cars don't read as a rule. And this is the biggest, newest one, which I walked by while it was being constructed. It's been finished now for a while. It's very nice. I'd like to see the inside of it, actually. But I don't know the people, so it seems unlikely I'll get asked. Yeah, that's a nice one. Flock of birds. Up the steps. Seen dogs already. You probably didn't see them there, but they just went by me. There's a really big one down there on the path. All right, looking to the east. Everything lush and green in summer. Looking to the west, ditto. We're going to go across Regina Avenue today and zigzag up through Lakeview. One reason to cross here is that there is a crosswalk light. So we're still on Cameron Street, south of the river now. If I were ever to own a camper, I always wanted an Airstream. That sort of retro, sleek aluminum body appeals to me for some reason. Hello. NYC Bubbles 756. Catchy name. Little houses, original houses from this neighborhood are quite tiny, some of them. The newer houses tend to be much bigger, like that one. Of course, coming this way takes us past Lakeview School. What time is it right here? It's 2:45, 2:45. 2 hours difference right now. After the time change, it'll be 1 hour difference because we don't. After the time change, we're constantly having to calculate these things. time. See, I suddenly got a unstable internet connection warning. It's because of the trees, I think, this time of year. Hopefully that'll clear up in a minute. I don't know how badly it's buffering. We'll go by Lakeview School here. Built, the old part of the school was built 1914 or thereabouts, I think, but it has the 30s edition on it. Oh, come on. Lose the unstable internet connection warning. There's no excuse for that. 5G network out here in the open. We'll go this way rather than crossing the playground, I think. I like these, the windows have these, supposed to be the torch of learning, I imagine. Those brick patterns between the windows. If this buffer's too bad, I can always upload the non-buffering version from the phone later. I can't do anything about it when I'm live streaming though, except hope it gets better. It's unusual for it to last this long. Yep, 2 hours difference between here and there. It's 2 hours later on the East Coast. Half an hour after that to Newfoundland. Well, actually 3 hours to Maritimes and 3.5 hours to Newfoundland from here. So in Newfoundland, it must be 5:50 in another half hour, so 6:20 already in Newfoundland. This is Lakeview United Church. We've rehearsed many times. Both shows that I wrote and directed were rehearsed here. You can find them, well, at least the second one for sure is on YouTube. It's called The Music Shop. You can find it on my website. I don't remember if the other one is still up or not. It was called As Time Goes By, a love story with music and ghosts. I don't know for sure if it's there or not. We'll walk here in front of Lakeview United Church. There's their steeple. It's a big church, but it's got a tiny congregation anymore. The building is rented out for lots of other purposes most of the time. No, you're 2 hours ahead of me. It's 2:45 here, or 2:50 here now. Trust me, I always have to know the difference between here and the East Coast because I'm always talking to or dealing with people on the East Coast. Skating rink over there. No ice in it right now, obviously. We'll go up another block. We can't zigzag any further if I go all the way up the hill, but maybe I'll zigzag even before I get to hill. And just keep zigzagging until I see where I come out. Over by the gardens. It's a time of year when you see boats parked on the street. There's a new house. Good sized one for sure. I like the kind of the pale wood on the door. That's a bit different than some. Yes, the Wascana Lake is a, for sure. Now, to be fair to Saskatoon, they have the Saskatchewan River, South Saskatchewan River, so that's a much grander thing all around, but you can't really walk around it. You have to cross the bridges at some point. Another little one over there. Oh, this one's for rent. That nice new one there is for rent if you're looking for a place. Some of the little houses from the original neighborhood. Several of those left along here. Probably post-Second World War. Might be post-First World War. There was a housing shortage after the wars as GIs came, well, they don't call them GIs here, but after soldiers came back. GI is an American term. Right, we will zig again to the right. That's this newish house, but not as new as some. It's an older newish house. Busier street up here. And in fact, just for fun, maybe I'll go down the alley instead of going all the way to the street. It's not really busy, but well, maybe not, because if I can cross it, I'll cross it here and keep zigzagging on the other side. Eventually we run into the Lakeview Par 3 golf course. Probably before I don't know. I don't know how to work out doing it this way, so we'll find out. Oh, it's a pedestrian walkway on the other side, so I'll cross there. And we'll zig up another block here, which won't quite take us to Hill. Another sign of summer is the campers parked on the street. Campers and boats. We will turn right here on Mason Avenue. Hill is the next one. I normally walk on Hill, so this is a little different. And it curves, so we'll see how that all plays out. Lovely breeze as I start to get warmer from walking. If you look closely, you can see some yellow leaves starting to pop up in the trees. They're starting to look old, is the way I described it earlier. You can tell that summer is waning. By a month from now, the leaves will be falling. Within 6 weeks, they're probably mostly gone. Not on the elms. The elms hang on to them for a long time, but other trees will go. At some point, we'll get some color. We don't get a lot. Well, we do. We get a lot of yellow. We don't get a lot of varied colors. There's a few, maples and stuff to give you some red, but the bulk of the trees around here turn yellow. Jet coming over my shoulder. Sounds quite low. Oh, it is quite low. From which you might understand that, indeed, the airport's right over there. At least it better be. across here as we continue our zigzag. And that puts us on hill, which is boring because I walk on hill all the time. So actually I'm going to stay here on Mason. Oddly enough, I know someone named Mason. Quite a talented performer. I think he's currently, or was this summer, doing a show in Estevan, where I've also done a show many years ago at the Souris Valley Theatre down there. He went to Ithaca and got his degree in musical theatre, and he's now done touring shows and stuff, so he's trying to make a career out of it. It's not an easy way to make a living. Unlike freelance writing, which is what I chose. We're north of, let me think, we're probably north of Montana if you went straight south. Eastern Montana. Straight south from here. North Dakota, Montana, basically. The southeastern corner of Saskatchewan's above North Dakota, and the rest of the province is above Montana because Montana is very wide, as is Saskatchewan. The whole province of Saskatchewan is about the size of Texas. Slightly smaller, but not a lot. But we're shaped more or less like a rectangle, such as you can have a rectangle on the curving surface of the earth. All our borders are artificial. None of them defined by rivers or anything like that. That greenery ahead of me is the Lakeview Par 3 golf course, where I played the morning of my wedding with my brothers as we killed time. Well, my wife was freaking out, as brides do, but I was fairly calm. I haven't played it, may have played it since, but certainly don't play very often. Probably should. If I was going to play golf, a par 3 that you can get around in an hour and a half or so, probably. I mean, we have my wife has a playing membership at the Wascana Country Club, but we mostly use that for its social. Okay, so I came out south of Lakeview. This is the Christian school with the Seventh-day Adventist Church next to it. This being Saturday, that means they had church earlier today. Curtis Horn Christian School, that's what it's called. It says on the side of the bus. Don't know who Curtis Horn was, but this is his school, named after him anyway. And here's the church building. That building over there used to be a fire hall, but now it's part of the Regina Health District facilities. Come in and leave your sins at the cross. Seventh-day Adventist Church. This is Hill Avenue, but I'm going to keep zigzagging, even though it'll take me south of the gardens, and then I'll work my way back through them, I think, is the way this will work out. Have to be sure I can zigzag and I don't just get caught in a crescent or something. Well, actually, we're almost on top of the gardens now, because that's Pasqua Street up there. The gardens are to my left. So I guess I actually came out just about where I want to be. And we'll walk down through the park that is south of the gardens. But first, to the gardens, that way. So you can see up there, the trees end and there's kind of a straight line. That's the horizon, that's the prairie out that way. There's a bit of a rise there actually, but once you get past that line of trees that the cars are zipping by, you're basically into the prairie. possibly baseball diamonds are right there. But the cars that are going really fast a little further out are on the blue van, which is... oh, maybe I can go this way. I was thinking... I guess they're right over there. Okay, I know where I am. I do, really. I've come this way before. I usually just walk downhill. It's just the zigzagging. I wasn't 100% sure where I'd come out, but I came out right where I need to be to go straight into the garden. So let's do that. When I first walked over here, the first time, over 2 years ago now, this road was being resurfaced. It already has cracks in it because that's the kind of climate we live in. Nice fence. And there's a big park over to the left, and I'll walk through it after I've looked at the gardens with you. Whoever you are, whoever's there still. If anyone. This is Queen Street. So we'll go over the little storm channel here, which I imagine is quite dry because there's been no significant rain for a little while. We have had rain, but more like thunderstorms rather than a day-long shower or anything like that. But we'll see in a minute if there's any water in it. Yes, Kinsman Park South is where we'll head after this. So here's the storm channel. Looks quite dry. Not dry enough to walk across. There's water down there glistening a bit, but I think. Or was that just reflections of, that may have just been reflections of the reeds. It looks completely dry, but I wouldn't bet on it necessarily. It could be muddy. Here's the gardens over here, Grow Regina Community Gardens. There's the park where we will head next. But first, let's take a look at the gardens and see how they're doing this late in the summer. Coming in from this direction, we go by the orchards here. Every tree and bush here belongs to a gardener. Please look, but don't take. So these fruit trees all belong to somebody. I can smell dill. That's always something you smell here late in the year. And sunflowers here. As I said, it's not a flower garden. It's there's a few flowers, as you can see, but it's primarily people growing vegetables and herbs and things like that. I actually thought there'd be a lot more people out here working. Maybe there's not much to do this late in the year. Someone's got some significant corn stalk. I usually walk quite this far up, so. More sunflowers, corn. I don't know what those are on the stalks with the little red flowers. And again, I smell dill. Oh, there's some tomatoes, not ripe yet, but growing. Sunflowers again. Lots of little moths. Flitting around. is entirely fenced for some reason. Not sure what they're growing there. Smaller sunflowers, I think. More tomatoes over here. This is the gazebo, which was designed by noted Regina artist Vic Sikansky, who's also a noted gardener. You can see the roof looks like canopy, tree canopy, and there are vegetables all around the walls in here. They're hard to see because they put chairs in here. The Co-op Community Gazebo, apparently, is its proper name. A few more flowers. There's something quite large. Not sure what it is. And all this stuff will be gone in another 2 months after the frosts hit. Some sort of raised ones over there. There's a pumpkin there. You can see it. Back into fruit trees again. And this is the main entrance, which has these Vic Sikansky laser cut sculptures of gardeners. I think we have small versions of these actually. We got somewhere. Not that we're gardeners. Wasn't something my mom did. She had arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, but also when she was a kid, she had to garden, and she always said she never wanted to do it when it was because she had to do it, and then she didn't want to do it later for fun. All right, we will, I think, walk down this side to the bridge today, because I don't do that very often. There goes the paratransit bus. One more look at the gardens. I come several times, oh, there's an airplane up there too. I come several times a week, summer, and even in the winter I like to come over here once in a while just to see how different it is. We'll follow this path along this side of the storm channel. There's a bridge up there we can take. I think there's a smidgen of mud and water down in the bottom there. This would all be city property here, this undeveloped bit of land. I suppose it's probably part of the park. People's houses come up about that far. That's actually a green lane between them. I could walk through if I were going that way, but I'm not. And I could just walk down this side of the creek today, but I think the park is a little more interesting, so I'll go over there. Over on the other side of those trees is the park proper, or the proper park. Actually surprised how few people I've seen out and about today. It's so pleasantly cool. I was really surprised there was only one person in the gardens working on such a beautiful Saturday. Again, you can see there's kind of a laneway there that's sort of an alley, but it's grassy. Fluffy clouds in the sky. It was cloudy this morning. One reason it was quite chilly. Go across the bridge here. and then decide what I do after that. I do sort of like to walk down and see the new school they were building. I think it's pretty much done now. And they tore down the old school that was there. Let's see how that's coming along, because it has been a while since I've gone that way. Oh, there's someone. Not sure what he's doing. Killing weeds, it looks like. For the bridge, not much to look at on this bridge when there's no water in the storm channel. Yeah, it's quite dry for sure. But you can tell by the vegetation that grows there that it's moister than the rest of the land around it. You can see a little water down there if you look. Not much. Oh, sorry, did I miss I would think most of the vegetables grown in the garden are just for the use of the people that grow them. They're very small plots, so I can't imagine you could grow enough that would make it worthwhile to sell, actually. Here's the Kinsman Park South. Playground way over there. There's a spray park. It doesn't seem to have anybody on it today either. It's just really kind of empty here, which again really surprises me on a quite pleasant day. I mean, it wouldn't be crowded any time, but it seems very empty. Over there, there's a spray park. Nobody on it. This is I Love Regina Day, so there's a lot of events happening downtown. We were down there, but I didn't have my camera with me. Well, I had my phone, but I didn't have my gimbal, and so I didn't try to walk through that. If I thought of it, I might have, but I didn't think of it. We were down at the farmer's market, as we usually are on Saturday mornings in the summer, to buy fresh vegetables. And fruit from BC. We have a friend who comes with a truckload of fruit from their orchards in south of Penticton, where they are not having fires this year, although they've certainly had them in the past. Really bad fire year in BC, one of the worst ever this year. But certainly they do have fires on a regular basis in the Okanagan. They're not typically as bad as this year, though. It's been very dry for the last couple of years. And of course, fire is a natural part of the forests, but if you have people living among those trees, then you got problems. Howdy. Canada loves you. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. If Canada hated me, it'd be an unpleasant place to live. But today is I Love Regina Day, not Canada Loves You Day. Very different. Very different. This is kind of our turnaround point. Now we'll be wending our way more or less back to where we came from, or I came from. There's a crosswalk here, so I will take it. You can carry on through the park down there, but not what I'm doing today. Oh, is the sidewalk open down there? Might not be. Maybe I'll stay on this side. But you can keep on that way with the cleverly named South Storm Channel Pathway. Big tourist attraction, the South Storm Channel Pathway. Cell phone tower up there, so I better not get any dropouts on my signal right now. This is a nice house. Very long and low, but very attractive. It seems appropriate to the prairies. as opposed to all of the tall, skinny ones that have been built. Of course, it is taking up at least 2 and maybe 3 lots, so the taxes are probably high. Another jet coming into land. It's like a WestJet. Here's the school over here. Clearly they're still doing cleanup work where they've torn down the old school. And of course school starts up again in, what is today, the 19th? About 2.5 weeks, I guess. Summer's almost over, especially if you're a kid. So yeah, it's a brand new school. I've been walking by here since it was just girders, so if you go back and look at my walks from a couple of years ago, you can see it when it was just starting out. Now it's all grown up. They grow up so fast. Yeah. Ah yes, the Canada Day fireworks, one of my most popular videos. Well, we live very close to the bridge, which gives you the best view of the fireworks, I think, because you can see the reflections in the water. And it's just the right distance to get it, make it fairly easy to shoot with the camera, and of course with the gimbal it keeps it nice and smooth and steady. So I've done that for a couple of years now. There it is. I don't know what it's called. They're probably trying to get it as far along as possible before school starts. I don't know that they've had classes in it yet. The windows look awfully bare. It's possible they haven't. But the old school was right here where there's now nothing but piles of dirt, so that's a big school too. I don't know if it's combination separate and public or if it's got a high school built into it. I don't know, but it's one of the largest of the new schools that I've seen. I guess it's still Argyle School, but that's the old sign from when the old school was sitting on this corner. They're just working away here at something. Yeah, I don't think they're in there yet. Certainly all the windows look empty. Maybe they were in part of it or something, because I thought I saw stuff in the windows in the wing back there last time I walked by, but none of this looks like it's open yet. Presumably there are kids that are intended to be here in about 2.5 weeks, so we'll see. Okay, we've basically turned the corner and are now walking back toward my house. Is that the house I've been in? The kind of turret thing on it? I rehearsed something with somebody at some point in a house somewhere around here that looked sort of like that. Might have been it. Maybe I should cross over and take a look. See if I recognize it from the front. It's an interesting looking house from this side with the turret there, the glass turret, which has a spiral staircase inside it. I think this is the house. It was built by an architect for his own use. They're usually the coolest houses. It's funny though, they never seem to live in them very long before they're off building something else for someone else. I'm sure, almost sure this was it. So I have been in there. I don't remember what I was rehearsing and why we were here, but I know I've been in there for a rehearsal. Also, there's a crosswalk here, which is always nice. Across Argyle. Now we will be working our way. I'll be working my way back to you. This is Lakeview Avenue, okay? If you're following along on Google Maps, which you probably aren't. That's a good sized house too. Actually a newer one, even though it's, oh, there's a cat. I love seeing cats. Hello, cat. Meow. He's not one of those that comes running up to strangers, which is probably a good survival trait. Our cat hates strangers, but he never goes outside either, so we're really not worried about him. He's an indoor cat, has been his entire 11 years of his life, and will remain one for as long as he lives, is the plan. And because he's an indoor cat, he should have many more years of life, barring unexpected illness. Which, of course, you can say about any of us. I hope to have many more years of life, barring unexpected illness, but unexpected illness is by definition unexpected, so you just never know. And you're more aware of it as you get older, as I approach my official senior citizen status. I mean, for some things, I already am a senior. I get discounts at the movie theater, for example, and Marriott hotels. Oh, there's another one just going over that tree, that house. Probably didn't see it. Air Canada, that one, I think, from the color scheme. When the wind is from a certain direction, they come quite low over parts of the city. Oh, what's that? Yeah, if our backyard was more fenced, we would let him out, but I'm afraid, not being an outdoor cat at all, he would take it in his little head to go galloping away, and we'd have a hard time retrieving him. I could be wrong. My old cat, one I had growing up, who lived to be 20 or thereabouts as well, was an outdoor cat his whole life. And but if I was outside, he would find me and follow me around. So they certainly recognize you. There's a nice bit of front yard gardening. All right, we will do the zigzag thing. Here's another official crosswalk, always the best place to cross. Oh, look at the yellow in that tree. I hate to see that. I hate to think about the snow at this point in the year, but we know it's coming. Oh, cool little gray car over there. Another big white fence. Another cool house on that corner. I've walked by it before. Another kind of low, modern, but not current modern, but modern from a different area. They have a lovely front yard too, as I recall, which we might see as we turn the corner again. As I walk down the alleys, but low battery. Really? I hope I make it home before it dies. Why would it be low? I haven't done anything with the phone today. That's a nice house. I like it a lot. I like their porch with the beams and yeah, I like that one. 23rd Avenue. Okay. We'll turn right again. I somehow ended up on Albert Street. That's a surprise, but that's clearly what that is. Well, I had no idea I'd come that far east. Well, that's all right. It gives us a reason to vary the walk even more. The lights are Albert Street up there. So in return, well, I'm not going all the way to Albert, but if we went to the corner, you would see the McKinsey Art Gallery to my left. But I walked Southwest Canada not that long ago, so I'll go up. It should be Angus, I guess. Yeah. Angus Street here. Oh, somebody's building a new house on the corner there. now I have to decide. I think I'll zigzag back the other way now till we hit Cornwall again, across the footbridge. Nice breeze walking this direction. So now we're in Lakeview neighborhood. Even though, as I always mention, there's only about one house that actually has a view of the lake, and it's right by the bridge. Certainly can't see it from here. Well, it's over there. Comes a dog. Dogs on both sides of the street. So Assiniboine Avenue. Well, I really did come a lot further south than anticipated. Well, let's go unstable internet warning again. Albert Street right over there, but we're going to go this way now. Interesting upper story on that one. And there, the unstable internet warning went away again. Assiniboine will curve me around a little bit here. This is Ray. Eventually we'll hit hill again, just for the hill of it. How long have I been walking? 53 minutes already. Oh, this was a long walk. It didn't feel that long. I guess because it's so cool. Yeah, the cool walk is cool, man. I mean, the temperature is cool. Oh well. Considering I've gained weight from our various trips and eating in too good of restaurants, more walking is a good thing. Try to take some of that off before we go away again to more nice eating possibilities in Edmonton in a month or so. And the trees are giving me unstable internet again. I do get less of that in the winter, so I think it's the tree coverage. The leaves interfere with the signal. So I hope it's... The street doesn't even have a street sign, it's gone. But we'll carry on to the left, past Ray. To Retallick, which is actually the street that would take me closest to home, but you can't cross the river on Retallick. Not this time of year anyway, maybe when it's frozen. But you wouldn't want to. All right, this Retallick. Over here you have Lakeview Place, which is like a little separate cul-de-sac community. But yes, this is Retallick. Next street I think is probably Hill. Duck. I didn't quite duck low enough. It got me. The tree combed my hair. Maybe just so I don't repeat myself, I'll maybe carry on down Retallick or Robinson. I guess I could go over to Robinson if my go to Robinson, but then I won't go all the way over to Cornwall because I walked along Cornwall coming this way. Or I just stay on Retallick. One or the other. Go to make sure it didn't have any buffering in it. I think that's what I did. Okay, Robinson. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, ho, ho. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Anywho, if I sing too much, I'll get a copyright strike. So, if the algorithm can recognize it, which it might not be able to. All right, down Robinson, because the next one after Robinson is Cornwall, and that's where the bridge is. So I will walk down Robinson all the way now to Regina Avenue. Cross blue with a touch of purple. It's not bright purple, but it's not quite blue. Indigo, maybe. No, I wouldn't even call that indigo. Bluish purple or purplish blue, whichever. I think I will take the trouble to save it on my computer and upload it again. So for those people who lie, that's my plan. Unless, of course, I try to save. It's about, what, 3 more blocks this way, I think. 1 block over, across the bridge, another 3-4 blocks home. So still got a good 15 minutes to go here. So this is a long walk by what I've been doing recently. Looks like someone's planning to build new in this lot. It's not a very big lot. Oh, it's for sale. Nobody has built it, but there is a lot there waiting for anyone who wants it. Oh, apparently they're building that. 2 of them, actually. 2 skinny ones. Fresh tubs. Repair and refinishing. Thought it was going to be a hot tub salesman, but it's bathroom repair. This should be McCallum. So Hill Avenue, McCallum Avenue. McCallum Hill was a major player in real estate here in the boom years of Regina. And his Hill companies are still a big company. celebrated their centennial a few years ago, and the fact they hired me to portray Walter Scott, the first Premier of Saskatchewan, for their centennial celebrations both here and in Calgary, which was fun. Especially in Calgary, because they flew me to Calgary and put me in a nice hotel and fed me, so it was nice. McAllen has some really nice houses on it. Yeah, so that one's nice. I think I'll stick to Robinson here, though. The schoolyard is right over there, and you can see the Lakeview United Church steeple again. I think that's probably a new house, not a refurbished older house. Quite a large one again. People build much bigger houses than they used to. Like our house was a nice house for when it was built in 1926, but it seems small compared to what a lot of people build now. Even on our Crescent, they'll take down a house that's kind of our size house, say like that, and then put up in the same lot, they put up a 3-story house that fills out the lot almost to the edges and makes everything bigger. I think it's because people have more stuff. Like our house's original closets were tiny. When we refurbished, we turned what was a small bedroom into a large closet, and it's still full. Everybody has too much stuff. These houses are fairly close together here. That's one way to avoid having to mow the grass. That one's kind of an interesting design. And the one next to it too. Modern, but of an older modern. Oh, they've got solar panels on their roof. I wonder how they fare against hail. That's what I would be concerned about around here. One more block to Regina Avenue. Also coming this way, you can see one of our unusual little traffic control islands that seem to be in this neighborhood and nowhere else. Now that's a nice newer house. It really spreads out and takes advantage of the 2 lots I think it must be on. Either that or they just swallowed up what was the backyard. Also possible. I'd like to see inside that one too. But again, I don't know the people. Randomly knocking on the door seems probably non-productive. A newer one, but built like an older one. And again, one of the little older ones, a couple of them there. A lot of them have that really peaked roof. It was definitely a style for a while. Houses have styles and fads, just like everything else. On Regina Avenue, the houses, many of them have a view over the creek at the back, so there's some nice ones here, and on the back they'll have big windows and decks. So you can look over the water, or the ice for 6 months of the year, or 7. Probably 6 months of the year you can figure on it being ice covered and the lake being mostly frozen. Thin ice at times at the beginning and end of that period, but ice nonetheless. So that's a nice house there too. Nice on this side and nice on the other side where it overlooks the creek. I would cross if I could, but I think it's safer to go down to the crosswalk. This is a fairly busy street. If you're going to the airport, you'd go straight out that way. From here, I could walk to the airport in about half an hour again. But I have no reason to do that, so I'm not. And you can't make me. I'm ready to be home. An hour and 8 minutes into this walk. After the hour slips by, I can tell that I've been walking a long time. The hour goes by about right, and then I know I've been walking longer than that. So I guess I've internalized the feel of an hour walk. All right, we will cross up here, the same place we crossed before. A little bit of repetition because you have to go across the footbridge, but I will take the dike back since I didn't take it coming. We will cross here. I'll let this camper go by. Our bus. Arctic Ice Limousine. It's a limousine. Party limousine, I guess. Back to the creek. Oof. Have a look at it as we cross the bridge again.